My name is J.C. I was born in a tent. There was no milk at that time. So they used walrus stomach and used it to feed her.
Wow.
Because there were no milk at that time. Dried stomach
Oh, okay.
for her to use as a bottle.
As a bottle.
Wow.
And what would you use for the milk?
Only breastfeed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
breastfeed,
they-
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
There were no milk no bottle at that time. So
No.
2 years old, I got sick. My mom and father took me from the camp to go to the hospital. I didn't know. I didn't know, Mom. We went to the hospital, but I don't remember. That's when you got sick. I got meningitis, and I got sick. Then I lost my hearing. I was hearing person. Then I got sick. Then she got meningitis and she went deaf. Maybe 3 years old. There were children. We were playing. They were talking, and my other friends. I was just playing, not hearing anybody. Then Mom came to check up on us and took me home. During summer, at Lota, we go for eggs.
Eggs. Yeah.
They go for egg hunting. Usually there's nothing. There were nothing, so they went home. I learned from my father. Her dad was signing in ISL.
ISL, yeah.
Like, this was her way of saying clam digging.
Clam digging.
Instead of signing, like,
Right.
and birds,
Birds.
owl.
Oh,
This is
owl. Okay.
sign for that. That's how she learned from her father. She wanted one for a pet. They would look for water.
Yeah.
She didn't. She couldn't find water, so she thought she was okay to eat the snow from the igloo, and she made a hole. There were no water anywhere. But summer there were waters, but during the winter there was nothing. So she ate some snow from the igloo and made a hole. My father would fix
Had to
it.
fix it up.
And we use kulik, oil lamp.
Oh, like whale oil? Or?
Yeah. Because we lived in a hut,
Yeah.
which was thick with insulation, so
Oh, okay, like this.
it was okay even during
during
a
the storm.
weather,
The
bad
weather was
weather
okay.
or a storm.
Was one.
Yeah, it was insulated with
Oh,
moss.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I wanted to go berry picking with my mother, so she went there and
What kind of berries are they?
sour greens. I don't know what you call them.
Gooseberries almost.
Oh, yeah.
They're good
Currants,
to eat and
like
they're
gooseberries.
sour.
Sour, yeah.
And they used to make a dip out of
I dip out of it, eh?
plants.
Yeah.
Chew them and make them
And then
really
make them soft.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then make a dip.
Chew it first.
Yeah. Use your hands.
And use your hand.
Mix it with your hands and make a dip. There were no gums. There was nothing in a tent like she. They use the birds ptarmigan skin, not ptarmigan
Feathers?
fur, feathers.
Feathers, yeah. Oh, could
And
dip
make
it.
a gum out
A
of it.
gum.
Yeah.
To
Make a
make a
gum.
gum out
Really?
of what?
The
ptarmigan
ptarmigan
feathers.
fur feathers,
They were, and
put
put them in
something,
that they got.
seal blubber or something
Something
and
from
make
the
a
seal
gum
and
out
would
of it.
make a gum.
Really?
Well, they were gums because there were no gums.
Paligtagan ako kaya maluloy sa paligtagan ako sandi nga matakpala ukong luga.
When they had their first child, her name is Luisa, and their oldest one, and she was born at Gary Lake, March of 1952. And their first child was deaf-mute.
So how did they know she was deaf?
Kano ko kayo malilok pisyo kako nang imat. Siyang imat.
Hindi ka naman tuwak na ako na naman hindi mo naman dahil ako o kayo ito na siguro sumakatan na ako hindi ka na naman o ka na saksi tusalo na katayin.
They started noticing that when she was sleeping, when people were talking, she wouldn't move, make any movements, and she wouldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
And that's when they got suspicious, and they started thinking she must be deaf. And the only time she would he seemed to hear was only when they touched her.
When they touched her like that. Oh, okay.
When she was newborn, they didn't know that she was deaf until she started getting older,
Older.
and that she couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Back then, they didn't have doctors. She was born in an igloo.
So then she got a little older and they started to communicate by signing with her.
Tayo maangin na pagdaningan ni ukto ka tibligo. Tayo man nakakatigi ko naksidalok siya.
Kahit tema nagtuhawag nangi matuhayog nangi makaulilap tiba tok-tok yan. Ema nalunig lokdakan ngit man ayok nakatilaw man.
The only way they would communicate with her was by touching her after they found out that she couldn't hear and that she was deaf. They couldn't even stomp their feet because there was nothing to vibrate on the floor or anywhere.
Yeah.
So the only way they would contact her was by touching her.
Yeah.
And that's when they found out she was
She
deaf.
was deaf.
After having Luisa, she had another girl who was deaf, but she was adopted to her sister.
Oh, okay.
And then she had Philip,
Philip.
who's also deaf. And
She's
then
gone. Johnny.
and then JM,
JM.
who's deaf,
Deaf.
and then Johnny.
Johnny.
They were in a famine area, and they were like very hungry all the time, and only in the winter time they would have tea.
Ang masarili naklik yung ko sa kakasok po sila kabalita ko tapit.
And they would be trading fox fur to Baker Lake,
Okay.
to the Hudson Bay.
Sila akalaw yung mata sila kulukulit si Paas kulukulit sila akalaw liwa kami kumalaw ko.
Back then when they were fur trading, they didn't have any money, so they would be trading them with little blocks or little sticks. They would be using them to trade their food with.
Okay.
I was told where do that you are walking just do
Yeah, so she wants to tell a story about they wanted to keep Johnny like as he was growing. Back then her parents, Matthias and Bibian, were around and they wanted to keep Johnny. So that her dad took Johnny away from them. So she says she felt like heartbroken because her dad just took Johnny so they could keep him.
Right.
But then later on she starts saying, "Oh, okay, keep him then," because you know, parents know more than the
I understand.
their kids. So
I understand.
she started realizing, "Oh, okay, just keep him." So when he was growing up around the grandparents, luckily he was adopted by his grandparents because
Okay.
the old man would teach him so many Inuit traditional
All the
ways.
different
All that.
traditional things like
Going sealing and
On the
stuff.
going
land.
fishing out on the land.
Okay.
Yung parang talon niya, ilibigin lahat, ano na yung laki man lang. Ilibigin na sa doon kanatan, dapat yung dukagi.
Now she's saying that luckily he was the oldest and
Okay.
he was taught by the grandfather, how to be out in the camp.
Okay.
So the younger the younger brothers like David and Ralph, George, and all these younger brothers.
Right.
Later years, they start telling their mom, "Oh, we wouldn't know anything because if luckily we have oldest brother like
Johnny.
like Johnny, so they're lucky to
Yeah.
have Johnny."
So maybe ask him if he remembers learning and then from the grandparents and then teaching the others. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He remembers
He
that, eh?
remembers.
Yeah. So everybody knew. He had no problem then. Everybody knew.
Yeah, everybody knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has any more stories she'd like to tell me about Johnny? Or
Ayan, apat ko di kakakawin. Ukakayawin na to ti umumami kan.
At saka kinakanda ka, yun.
what? Okay.
Igil ako ng lakad mo siya. Takti lang ulo yung mo siya, nakalita mo nga. Hindi ka lang din. Tambalay.
John is saying that when he went out camping with his grandpa, that one day they were out on a dog team.
Yeah.
Back then they didn't have
Oh, the dog
ski
team, yeah.
So he was all alone out with his grandpa. So that one day his grandpa, I guess he blacked out,
Oh,
Blacked out.
Blacked out.
and then maybe few minutes he was blacked out for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And came back and then so I guess he brought his grandpa back to town. Yeah, brought him back and
Nakahitulo mata ang ayok
Travel.
nakahitulo mata tema
They were traveling.
ang ayok kawo
Yeah.
pero kawibo nakahitulo.
They never stayed in one spot for a long
Right.
time.
They were
They would
hunting.
always travel back and forth, either go here for seal during the spring, over here caribou, maybe over here for the summer, maybe for the caribou.
Right. Follow
And-
the different foods.
Yeah,
Different
that
animals.
just like the seasons change all the time.
Like the seasons change, so do the hunting, and so
Yeah,
do the
they
areas
do, yes.
where they're living.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
During the winter months, there might be good caribou hunting over here. During the spring months, there might be some good fishing over here.
Yep.
During the summer months, there could be some good seal hunting over here.
So they would just move when
They-
she
they-
was
they would-
young.
They would follow where
They
the
would follow the
game is
animals
at.
where the
yes.
game is.
That's just
Exactly.
in order to survive.